Judge, jury, and executioner. These were the roles taken on by a violent mob in a recent attack on a man in his 40s who they accused of indecency. The beatdown, caught on camera, has left some baffled, while others are calling for law enforcement intervention in the matter. United and Strong, an advocacy group for the LGBTQI community on island, condemns the apparent act of vigilante justice.
United and Strong denounces all forms of violence against our young people, be it sexual molestation, sexual attack, violence in general. And we believe that we've put into the video circulating about the young man, the gentleman, and also the young guys, that it is a matter of concern for us, and we believe that it should be dealt with in a criminal justice court. And also, vigilante justice is not the answer. While we do applaud the public for bringing awareness to this type of situation, but this situation, we should not always take it into our hands. The law, we should not handle the law in our hands, but be mindful that these situations are very fragile.
The criminal justice system has struggled with overcrowded prisons, delayed court hearings, and a lack of forensic capacity, which have added to the long wait for justice for those wronged. The problems plaguing the system have been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. St. Rose points to the sluggish pace of justice she asserts may be contributing to persons taking the law into their own hands.
Persons try to take these things into our own hands because we feel sometimes that the courts are not taking the matter probably seriously enough or taking time to address these situations. And that's why I applaud the public for bringing awareness to these situations, because we need that in society. But we have to be mindful that there is a process and there is a court system has a way of doing things, and we just have to understand that awareness is important, but also vigilante justice, as I said earlier on, is not the answer.
The crowd, without due process, reportedly resorted to violence over allegations of inappropriate behavior leveled against the man. In a previous interview, Raise Your Voice's Catherine Seelys, who notes the importance of rule of law, also underscored the long-standing issue of alleged predatory behavior perpetrated against vulnerable persons.
Sexual abuse of boys has always been prominent and common. We have had educators that sexually abuse children and they get bail, very low bail, $15,000. We have people of trust who have violated children, and boys, and they've been bailed. So first of all, the justice system does not take it seriously. And number two, solutions are always hot and bothered when something happens, especially if it appears on social media 2 days later. What has happened to the case of the young lady who was killed and thrown on the roadside at Pigeon Point? Do we have an update? Do you hear anybody speaking about it? Sexual abuse of boys has always been as prevalent as sexual abuse of girls. And whether we like it or not, the powers that be are not putting things in place, and they are not making the laws that govern those things clear. Instead of saying rape and sexual abuse of minors, they're saying sex with somebody under 12, but there is no sex with anybody under 16, there is rape.
St. Lucia is not the only territory confronted by disturbing cases of sexual violence perpetrated against both women and men. The high-profile case in Trinidad of the kidnap and murder of Andrea Barat has stunned the entire region. Likewise, in St. Lucia, the discovery of the decomposing corpse of an unidentified female found near the Pigeon Island Causeway on Saturday, January 23, 2021, left many traumatized. Advocates have called for a rigorous public education campaign to ensure that persons are availed of their rights to guard them against being violated. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.